Hey YouTube family, I thought it was time to check in. It's been a year since I had my explant surgery. I explanted on September 29th of 2017 with Dr. Rankin in Jupiter, Florida. I'm going to start by saying I am by no means a professional YouTuber. Just reading through the comments over the last few months, I kind of giggle. I was like, your light's not good, or there's something in your mouth or something. So I'm not a professional YouTuber by any stretch. This is my journey and what I've experienced over the last year for my explant. My last video update was at 4.5 months post-op. The reason I didn't make any more videos since then is A, I got super busy, and then B, I noticed a lot of women were making videos kind of like I had rapidly. Like once they explanted, it was like bam, 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 bam every month. I didn't want to do that. And the reason I didn't want to do that is because I kind of felt like had I done that, it wouldn't have really given a good scope of what's actually occurred over the last year. First, I'll say I went, before my explant, I was in the doctor probably 3 or 4 times a week at this point. So rheumatology, my family PCP, I had a holistic doctor. I mean, I was really there a lot, and it was just reoccurrent infections that like I couldn't get rid of. Chronic sinusitis, ear infections, strep throat, pretty much whatever was out there, I was catching all the time. So that being said, I went to my doctor the first time at the kind of the middle of September of this year. So I waited over 11 months to go back. The reason for that is because I didn't need to go. There was zero reason. I hadn't had a cold, I hadn't had a sniffle, no ear infections, no chronic sinusitis, nothing. Like I've been completely healthy for this last year. I finally had all my blood drawn, and some things came back abnormal, but they told me before surgery, I had told everybody I had systematic lupus, mixed connective tissue, Sjogren's, like all these autoimmune things. Those all came back normal except for Sjogren's, because you can have a negative ANA and still have Sjogren's. And the only other 2 things I do kind of still deal with is bouts of chronic fatigue. So not chronic fatigue daily, but it does kind of come in waves, and fibromyalgia pain. That's also not daily. So if I haven't got enough rest, if I'm not drinking enough water, I do still kind of struggle with those things. That being said, so I know going into surgery, I had all of these big ideas, like my inflammation's gonna go away, and I'm gonna lose the 30 pounds I put on, and all these things I kind of had put in my own head, but it didn't just put in my head. I was, if you're like me and you've been on some of the boards on Facebook, like I ate it up. And because before surgery, like we have to prepare ourselves for so many things, and I don't really think you can go in being over prepared. I think what can happen is you have your explant, and now like the minute you've had it, and there's so many other women that have had them, it's like this influx of information of what you should be doing and which supplements you should be taking and which detox you should be doing. And it was so overwhelming to me that I had to shut off. I had to shut off the boards. I had to walk away. And I think there's probably a lot of women like me that struggled with that. I didn't lose 30 pounds like I was supposed to. I'm actually, I think I've only lost 5 pounds since surgery. So I know at my 4.5 months, like I'd lost weight. I haven't lost any more. Now, of course, going back to my doctor, I'm turning 35 next March. So I got one of those really lovely remarks of like, you're kind of that age. That's kind of a crappy thing to hear, but I think it's also reality. And like I said, almost turning 35, our metabolisms do change. And being almost bedridden for 2 years, that does a serious number on our bodies. And so it's really just been the last 4 months I've been able to get up and exercise and just enjoy being out. So I'm trying to think back to the 4-month mark. I was feeling really good, and I continued to feel good. I didn't have any issues after that initial infection I got at 8 weeks. I haven't had any other problems. My scarring is still very minimal. I bit the bullet and bought a push-up bra. I mean, it was for an event, but I know there's a lot of women that are, we really struggled with, are we going to feel womanly, or how we're going to look in t-shirts. And I can honestly say I was not one of those women that really mourned the loss of my implants. I knew how sick they were making me, and I just wanted to feel better. And at this point, I just wanted them out. So I didn't care what I looked like. And even still to this day, we've been through summer, and so we've been through swimsuit season. And I'm not gonna lie, I know there was a woman at the pool, and she had fake breasts, and I remember there was like this tiny, like 5 seconds maybe, that I was like, oh man, she looks great. And then I immediately felt bad for her, because you want to share it, and I was like, oh no, like I wonder if she knows. But I also don't believe in fear mongering, and so, hopefully she stays well. But all I'm trying to say is, like, we went through summer. That was always a huge thing before implants for me, as I wanted to feel womanly in a bathing suit. And this summer I honestly couldn't care. I feel like a year out, that's kind of been my MO, is like, I just don't give a shit anymore. And I know that sounds bad, and I don't mean it to sound negative. I think just when you've walked through all of the steps, you just get tired of hearing people tell you what you should be doing, or having an opinion on your life and your illness and your journey. And I got really tired of being put in a box and having people tell me that, I should be doing X, Y, and Z. Realistically, like, the best advice I have at this point, a year out, is this is your journey. It's nobody else's journey. And you really need to choose what is best for you and your family and your body, and not focus so much on what the next person is doing. I explanted with 2 other ladies, and we've remained really good friends throughout this last year. One of them is doing like an insanely intense detox protocol. She's like this crazy good guru that I use. And then the other one is actually doing something pretty intense. I am the slacker, where for the first few months, I ate what I wanted because I could finally eat again, and I really didn't care. I did have heavy metals in my body, so I've slowly started adding things in, like coffee enemas and celery juice, and some, I do drink a lot of green juices at this point. And in the last 5 months, I've really started just paying attention to what I'm eating, but that's kind of what I should be doing anyhow. So it's like a common sense thing is, are you going to eat potato chips, or are you going to eat carrots or celery? I mean, what's going to fuel your body? And I think that's really what a lot of this comes down to afterwards, is when you're on information overflow, is to really just know what you're putting in your body, because your body's not going to run if you're just feeding it junk. That's kind of where I'm at, and I know, like, this probably isn't as informative as some of the other videos, and I've had such great feedback from everybody, and I'm just so thankful that there's been people saying that they found my video and that gave them hope to explant. Like I said, I can honestly say that this was still the best decision I ever made. My husband loves the new boobs. I mean, clothes fit better. I feel better, and that's realistically all this comes down to, is I feel so much better, and I was able to live this last year like I haven't in the last 4 years. We moved houses, we went on summer vacations, my kids are both in competitive sports all of a sudden, and I'm able to keep up with my daily life and their daily life, and to me that is a win. I feel like I'm no longer failing my family, I'm no longer failing my husband because I couldn't participate in their lives. And here it is a year later, and I just feel like a different woman. So I'm not going to worry about the 30 pounds that I can't lose. I'm not going to worry about what everybody else is doing. I'm really just going to focus on me and help whoever has any questions, or whoever I can help to the best of my ability. I am going to keep my channel up, and I think really focus on, there's a lot of things about chronic illness I would love to touch upon, but I didn't really want to roll it into the explant videos, just because they are 2 totally different things. So if anybody has any questions, I'm here, and I'm happy to help. And to all those ladies that are taking the very, very brave plunge to explant, I'm praying for you, and know that you will get from point A to point B. Thanks, guys. Bye.